around the clock, sports all the time. That's never going to work. That's ridiculous.
Just remember to have fun out there today. And if you lose, I'll kill you.
This is Talking Audio.
Seriously, this thing is going to be a cultural disaster.
Our cultural disaster rolls on to start another week. Matt and Rob back in the TCA Studio. What's going on, man?
Woo! It's one of those days, man. It's got to be 28 degrees outside.
You want to break stuff?
Rolling over here with the windows down, tunes cranking.
That's 2 Limp Bizkit references in the first sentence.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things
It's all about the nookie, man.
Well, and I love to listen to, on a Sunday, rolling over here, local radio station does what they call the vinyl recycler. Yeah. So
Recycling.
Yeah.
Just tossing it out.
So going back a couple weeks ago, we were driving over here, and it was Bjork's Sensuality. and the windows are down, the tunes are cranked.
Yeah.
And
we are this cool.
yeah, well, and it's just one of those things where you're like, I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
Today it was the Monks, Johnny B. Rotten.
Nice stuff, man. That's good.
Okay, and it's one of those things that, and it harkens me back to, I don't know, probably 10 years ago. We're driving somewhere, and Collective Souls, their biggest, the one, it's the name escapes me right at the moment, but I'm
Smashing Young Man.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. The one with the
Off the Blue album.
The one with the good guitar riff. Anyways.
Heavy.
Okay. It comes on.
Great tune.
I turn it up and the window's down. My kids are like, Dad, turn it down. People are looking. I'm like, who cares about those people, right? And so it's the same with the Bjork, right? The Bjork comes on and I'm like, I don't love Bjork.
Yeah.
But I hear so much bullshit coming out of other people's cars. I'm like, I don't care what they're thinking.
I have a vivid memory of when I was still doing a little radio nonsense downtown.
Is it Roche Voisine?
Yeah. I'm walking through the Byward Market on a Friday afternoon, and it's like April, but it's the first time it's cracked 20. Like,
of course,
people
man.
are loving it. It's feeling like a summer after.
Dog shit is in the air.
There is a FedEx truck rolling by me, like a big one, with the windows down, and cranked up is the Venga Boys.
The Venga bus is coming.
And I think it's the juxtaposition of the vehicle and the tune that I'm like, somebody's feeling ready for summer, man. Like, somebody's having a good day. Exactly that. For the longest time, that was the Oshawa Generals, not just goal song, but goal horn.
Because it has the horn at the beginning, right?
But it came off so cheap, though, right? Like, can we just have a horn, or do we have to start a song with a horn in
the
it?
The Venga Boys, of course, man. Well, that makes me think of, I'm living in London, Ontario, and honestly, it's the middle of summer, and it's sweltering. And I'm walking down it's in an industrial area, and I can hear this coming from behind me, and it's Staying Alive by the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
And it's this guy cruises by in a convertible, and I remember thinking, that's badass. It's in a sort of
get a room, fun boy.
In a throwback kind of way, right? Yeah. It was just like, and then he cruises on down, and I'm just like, that's I don't give a fuck 101 right there.
So
I got the Bee Gees going here, and it's hot, and I'm in a convertible, and you're walking.
Well, right here, man, just like last summer, the summer before. So I'm 7 floors up. In the corner outside, it's a 3-way. It's not a full
intersection.
Yeah. And I don't know why this guy was stopped for so long, unless it was just for me.
Yeah, of course it is.
But he had his music absolutely cranked to the point where I'm hearing it like it's on my radio here in my The Wicker Man by Iron Maiden.
Oh.
Which I'm...
Yeah,
that's one of Matt's go-to... That is maybe Matt's go-to Iron Maiden song. And for whatever reason, he sat at that corner for me to get most of the ending guitar solo, drum solo, everything, man. And I'm like, good for you, man. Like, this is...
Don't drive away yet.
Yeah, the good part's coming. So, we are on social media at Talking Audio. Give us a follow there and subscribe to the pod wherever you're hearing us right now. Our sort of on again, off again since the summer continues. You were away 2 weeks ago. I was away last weekend, but we did manage to pre-record something that immediately, as I feared, went stale when Barkov.
Yeah, the next day.
Yeah, his leg blew up, and that sort of changed that. But for the most part, positive response to that.
I got a lot of good feedback on the Burt Reynolds.
Yes, so did we, or so did I, actually. People thinking, bringing a little dignity, a little culture to the show.
Burt with his throaty, whispery kind of voice.
So if you've missed that, check it out. That was last Monday's show. And if you did miss it, I should also point out Friday afternoon, and this is why I specifically want to point out, not a usual time for us to release a show, but Brent Wallace was in here for the first time. And that was a really fun show. And the way you know you're having a good chat, a good conversation, is the number of times he said the phrase, I don't know if I should say this, and then said it, or
yeah,
I don't think I've
100%.
ever said this on the show before, but I'm going to say. That must have happened 4 or 5 times during that recording. Like I said, it dropped late Friday afternoon. That was just the scheduling that Wally had fit us in between a Sens skate and his duties over at the Red Blacks in stadium doing work for them. So, but if you missed that over the weekend, go back and check it out. Well worth a listen.
Well, and he's a pull back the curtains kind of guy.
Seems to be, man.
Yes.
So, and he stepped just a little outside of his comfort zone on the beer thing. So I won't spoil that, but go back and check it out. This week coming up, Jeff Viette does the Toronto Maple Leaf season preview. Graham Nichols, we think, does the Ottawa Senators season preview. Wally booed Graham Nichols when I teed that up last week.
But he's booing Graham Nichols,
Yes,
the
he
man. He's not booing the team or the takes.
Right. We think.
We all have our own opinions.
What did you just crack into over there, man?
Well, Matt, I'm glad you asked. I am drinking
Have I ever not?
something called the Heritage Pilsner from Kempville Brewing.
Ooh.
Last time I was in, you dropped on me that there was a Kempville brewery.
Yeah, discovered that at the Canada Craft Beer Fest.
So I was excited to go in.
Hey, I know people in Kempville.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a bunch of beer and go bother them.
And actually, no, I actually got one of them to go in and get me some beer and bring it to me.
Even better.
So, and it was my mom.
Yeah.
And she was coming in, so I'm like, Mom, swing by the Kempville Brewing Company. I said, this is what I want. And so the one thing they didn't have, which I'll hold for later, which was actually the one thing I really wanted. But she was blown away by the facility. It's sort of in South Kempville, sort of in the older area town.
Suburban Kempville.
Well, yeah, where my brother is and my mother is sort of the newer section of Kempville, right? So this is sort of in the older section, but she's like, they have a place for live music. They got a bunch of things going on there. She's like, so she gets in there and I said, just give me a phone call, Mom, when you get there and I'll talk you through it. Well, the first thing she does is she phones me and she's like, here. And she hands the phone over to the person working there. Yeah. And so I'm like, hey. So anyways, we walked through this. And so a Pilsner at 4.8, first couple pulls, this is very, very easy drinking.
Over here, I also have something provided by one of my parents. We're still very reliant here on the show of Mom and Dad. My old man was in town last week, and he calls me, I can see beyond the pale from here. Anything you want? I'm like, yeah.
Everything.
What do you want? I'm like, oh, I don't know. He goes, well, I got something else to do here. Look it up in 10 or 15. I said, I'm out right now. I'm not going to be able to. I said, if you're looking to get something as well, I'll take whatever looks good in there, right? Like, I'm not going to be fussy about it. If you're not, then don't worry about it. And sure enough, he rolled in after having visited there with a few different things, including this one, which is the Oktoberfest Märzen. 5.5%. And upon the first couple of pulls here, it is exactly what you'd expect. It's a little toasty, a little malty up front. 5.5% is just about right. Kind of nice, man. I'm enjoying this, to be honest, more than I enjoy most Märzens. I find when I'm cracking into one of them, I'm always expecting just a little bit more of something, and I'm always a little disappointed or find them a little plain. This one is landing right where I want it to land. Like I said, little toastiness, little maltiness up front. Beauty, man.
See, I think I have a couple of Märzens on my radar here, and one I'll probably have on the show probably in the weeks ahead, being that it's October and all. But
Sure.
But man, on a daily today,
But I think that means we missed Oktoberfest.
yeah, which starts in September.
Yeah.
But it runs into October.
Okay.
But the Märtzens, they also they start brewing those in March. Thus the name.
This one's nice.
A little maltier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've just started watching House of Guinness, which was released late September on Netflix.
Never heard of it.
From the creators of Peaky Blinders.
Okay. As it would be.
They're doing their.
Does this one also have to be subtitled? Is it?
You know what? And of all the UK accents, well, the Welsh are kind of wily and hard to peg down, but it's softer usually. The Irish is usually easy, but man, there is some stuff where I'm like, what did he say? So it's I'm only 2 episodes in, but there's lots of violence.
Really?
Which is what you're hoping for. Right? It's sort of it takes place during a succession.
Okay.
Right? There's somebody the patriarch is passed on, and so it sort of it coincides with the sort of Irish Republican Brotherhood, the Fenians, which we saw a lot of the Fenians because the Fenians were actually here in North America. You've seen that Darcy McGee statue down on Spark Street?
Yep.
He was shot by a Fenian.
Okay.
Right, so they were looking to destabilize the British Commonwealth worldwide and hoping for Irish independence.
Right.
So that's sort of both those stories, the succession of the Guinness brewery, coupled with Irish independence, is sort of happening at the same time in the late 1860s. So,
And now, ironically enough, Darcy McGee's a great place to grab a Guinness. It's
yeah. Well, and it's right there, right in front of the statue, actually. You can see the statue from the Darcy McGee's. So, anyways.
From one of them, anyway.
From the original.
Yeah.
The OG.
Always been really grateful for the airport Darcy McGee's.
Yes.
As someone who doesn't love flying, let me just step in here for a minute before they start calling our gate, take care of what I need to get into a mindset where I'm ready to fly. And
well, can I have a couple of Irish car bombs?
Insensitively named.
Yeah. Or hand grenades.
Yeah.
Whichever. Irish hand grenades, Irish car bombs, whichever you want to go with. There it is.
You mentioned your most recent Netflix takedown there. Amazon Prime on Friday launched the new season of NHL Face Off. You get a chance to check much of it out or any of it? Or
I saw episode 1.
Yeah.
And the first 10 minutes of 2.
Is 2 the Crosby Kopitar?
No, that's the Goudreau.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
That's the Johnny Gaudreau episode.
It's a bit of a tearjerker.
I was just going to say it was enough to make me moist
Yeah.
around the eyes.
Yep. Important
Yes.
differentiator there. Episode 1, for you good Sens fans who aren't sure whether you want to dive in and how much you want to commit to this, if you're only interested in the Sens component, the Brady component, you're in luck. You won't have to go far. It is episode 1.
Well, you won't have to go far for the Brady component. You may have to go far for some of the Sens component.
Well, that's fair enough. What did you think of it, man? Because we've been talking about this for a while. I think I asked you after the Four Nations about Brady's stature in the game and what that week-long, 10-day-long period at the tournament would have done for him, and whether you thought he took a step forward at the event and afterwards, or whether it was the rest of the hockey world just learning about him and who he is for the first time. You know, we got to go behind the scenes on that a little bit. You learn anything about him?
Not really.
No.
Not because this market here in Ottawa is sort of super saturated with Brady and all that. And it was the Four Nations was a great time for me to see him surrounded by nothing but talent.
Yep.
And what a fucking menace he was. Right? Like as a guy who was able to do his own thing surrounded by talent, right? Most NHL teams, you don't have that. And for the vast majority of Brady's time here, he hasn't always been surrounded by a pile of talent. So I remember thinking, that guy's a menace. And I didn't love it when he's wearing a different colored jersey than I'm supporting. Now, the whole idea that we can't wait to see this, people salivating to see Brady in the playoffs. I was surprised that they played up so much of Matthews' injury, but didn't talk about Brady's injury at all, which clearly caused him to miss 10 games at the end of the regular season, hampered him in the playoffs. Not a mention of that in this episode. I can't speak for, I think.
Was there not one talking head there with Matthew where he brought it up? You're right. It was significantly underplayed, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, and it may have been maybe in episode 4, which was.
So episode 4 is the Nylander-Shanahan episode, and the second half is dedicated, like it all culminates with the battle with the Sens in the playoffs.
Because the first episode, the Brady one, talks about, and it was interesting because they talk at the beginning of the Brady episode about Big Skates to Fill, I think was the name of the episode, right? As the younger brother trying to step out of the older brothers
and dads.
And then
significant
and then the playoffs being what we hear chafe in Ottawa, chafe under the little brother of both, not just the Leafs, but the Habs, right? You're stuck in between.
These 100-year-old monsters.
That they played that up on the show as well. So to me, it was the symmetry of that was interesting, right? That you have the Matthew, 2-time Cup winner, older brother.
Yeah.
And in the playoffs, you roll into
Toronto.
First time in 8 years making the playoffs, and it's the bigger brother.
Did you feel like when you say that Ottawa fans chafe at that, obviously they would. That's half the reason. Did you feel like it was presented that way? I know you haven't seen episode 4 yet, but like in a way that was irritating, like you're painting us as too small time, or
yeah. I actually felt like at first blush, and seeing it once, when they start the episode and they talk about the irrelevancy of the franchise, of the city, right? That's how you're selling this.
Yeah.
And I get they're trying to build a story, but you're like, yeah, this is a forgotten or an under...
A backwater.
Yeah, you're like, and whether it is or not, you don't want to hear that.
No.
And you're like, fuck you, man. Jackie Redmond.
Pete Blackburn,
PK Subban, like, to me, I'm always like...
Look, PK is who he is, and he's got the person. Pete Blackburn has always kind of like, you fucker. Like, there's just something about it. Now he's a Boston guy, too. He's also the champion behind...
the biggest Bruins homo, hobo. Sorry.
Yes, I forgot about
Freudian slip.
I forgot about that, man. That's the same guy.
That's the same guy, yeah.
Oh, it's perfect.
I think he's trying to get to Homer.
Of course
Bruins
he is.
Homer,
I'm the biggest Bruins.
The biggest Bruins homo, hobo. Sorry.
Keep swinging, man.
I forgot all. That's a great drop, man. So to me, there was a pile of that you sort of, and then it was most of the episode was Four Nations, and I get it.
Yeah.
But it's very clear that Amazon has their own footage. They have the CBC Sportsnet footage, but they don't have the TSN footage, which is so much of
Ottawa's regional
Ottawa's regional, like that New York game, that's the one where at the end of the game where Brady scores the overtime winner, they either pull even or pass the Rangers to get in the playoffs.
Right.
It's a Saturday afternoon game. Brady scores the OT winner, and he's talking to Claire Hanna, and his brain breaks, right? Where the crowd starts chanting, Brady, Brady, and he's giving his cliched answers, and then he's like, he gets swept up in the moment.
Yeah.
He's like, he has a Beavis and Butthead moment where he's like, let's go, let's go.
Yep.
That's a TSN. Like that to me is tailor-made for that episode, right? Where the crowd is chanting his name. They touched on the game, but they didn't play that audio, right? And so it's...
Like you said, they probably don't have the rights.
This is it. Yeah. This is it. And so... And then it goes to the Battle of Ontario, skips past the first two games, and they go, Game 3 in Ottawa. And you're like, you're missing part of the story.
Well...
Anyways.
You lost those two games. Is that really where you want the focus of a Senators episode to be?
I do.
Okay.
If you want to tell the story of the season, if you're looking for a story arc, you got to tell the lows and you got to tell the highs.
There's a little bit more of it in episode 4.
Okay, and
that's as far as I've been. I've seen episode 4. Episode 2, it's what you think it's going to be when it's about the Goudreau thing, the Blue Jackets
but if
thing.
I could go ahead. Just before you move off of the Brady thing, it's watching season 1 and the beauty of these kinds of sort of, you get a good vignette, you get a good picture of this person. And again,
Philip Forsberg.
And I think of Willie Nylander.
Yeah.
Who was episode 1 of last season. I think it was Nylander
him
and Pasternak.
Yeah.
And I left that episode with a completely different appreciation for William Nylander. Like more than his game or whatever, it's the guy.
Yep.
Right? And you sort of go, that's what you hope from these things, right? Is I have an elevated appreciation of William Nylander, the guy. Watching this first episode, I think I didn't learn anything new about Brady, but the amount of Matthew that's in it, I never ever get a greater appreciation for Matthew. Like every time I see that guy, I'm like,
still a dick.
I so like to punch that guy.
Division rival.
Well, and he's
on that team,
and he's just such a. There's nothing about him that.
When Brady had some moments last year in the Matthew episode, like they sort of tied these together as return characters, much like Nylander, right, who also was in the second one after being in. But I don't get to use this one enough. There was a drop from season 1, the Matthew episode, and they're golfing in the backyard, and Brady drops
I'm dog shit.
Okay.
I'm dog shit. And it's nothing. It's just a little moment you can grab, right, and whatever. But they are clearly an amusing family. Like Dad's cooking in that one in season 1. Now Dad's, in the seats and
watching Keith, and it's the flashback to Matthew winning the cup, and the whole Tkachuk family is in the stands crying.
Yeah.
And Keith, as a former professional athlete, he's crying, and his body is shaking. And his belly is shaking.
Everything is shaking.
Everything is shaking because he's not firm. And you're like, you got that.
Not firm. I am retired.
Everything about you is on display, and you're like
in this little arena seat.
I felt exactly.
Yeah.
You're wedged into this, and Keith is just like, his belly is shaking. And you're like, sorry, Keith.
I'm dog shit.
But Brady to me is, I just think Brady, and Keith said it, right? Brady has the biggest heart. Brady is the kindest of the family. And I sort of believe that.
I think I've brought this reference up before on the show, it's stolen from Twitter, but it's like this family is so fascinating because Matthew looks like he belongs on the cover of teen magazines, and Brady looks like he belongs on the cover of fetal alcohol syndrome warning pamphlets. Right?
Well, see, you sent that to me. I remember I was down in Hamilton. This is just after the Sens series and before the Florida series, right, for Toronto.
Right. That was it. It was from a Toronto perspective, from one brother to the next. Yeah. Okay.
And the thing is, I get zero appreciation for Matthew from any of these things. Like the more I see him, even from a behind the scenes thing, you're always just like,
I don't like you any more than I did before.
I may even like you less.
Right.
I may even like you less. Right.
And I will say this, and I do already, living here and knowing the stuff he does for charity and stuff like that, I respect Brady. I don't like what you said last year about Willie. Like I got that a little for Brady. I'm like, oh, you're a decent guy.
You
like,
got a kid. You're like,
I see. You're a good dad. Good for you. Right? Like, fuck this guy.
You're out there at Chris Neal's Iceland.
Sure, and you're just trying to be like, I'm sure when the games get going and the jerseys get put on and whatever else, but there is a certain amount of, you're killing the rivalry here a little bit, right? By showing off that, they're all just good dudes trying to do their own thing.
Not in the least, man. I still want to see Nylander get smashed. So don't worry about that. He's getting even more love right now than usual because he's often been a bit of a lightning rod, Willie, in Toronto. Yeah.
And people are pointing now to like here's William Nylander in his $3,000 suit taking the subway to the game while Mitch Marner's hiring security around his Etobicoke compound, right? Like, fuck you, get out of here. We've always loved Willie.
Well, and you know what I was left with from this, and this is sort of a sidebar, side avenue.
Yeah.
With all the Brady, appearing on Good Morning America. And can I call you Captain America? You're not even the captain of that team.
Right.
And it's interesting because for those of you who remember or don't remember, and I'm sure most of you listening to this do remember, Austin Matthews was the captain of that U.S. team. But he is not gregarious with the media.
Nope.
He does not seek the limelight. And in many ways, personality-wise, he's much more of a Canadian kind of...
In that regard, yeah.
In that regard, right? He is just not...
And someone would have put it in his ear in like day one of his first camp. This is Toronto. Don't say anything. Just don't say anything that people are going to find interesting because it'll be in the paper for a week.
Right. And if that's the case, he is totally...
He's mastered it.
He has mastered that, and he is boring as shit.
Well, what did you make of the little storm that blew up? All he said, someone asked him a question, you probably saw it, about Marner, and he's like, you got 2 weeks of this, and then we're done.
Yeah.
And I thought that was more than fair. He didn't say it like an asshole. He didn't whatever. As long as
he's not here, he doesn't play here anymore.
Right. As long as camp's going on, I'm going to allow that question. But then we're done here, Matt. And
I love Mitchie.
Yeah.
But
is what Matthews said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I don't love Mitchie.
No, I know. Well, that's why it was important to clarify.
Although I do like
a little
him
more
lot
now.
more as a Vegas Golden Knight.
Sure. But yeah, he's just sort of like. Someone said, I don't even remember what it was because there's been 100 of them. What will the power play look like without Mitch?
Yeah.
What will your point totals look like without Mitch?
You're scoring less goals without Mitch. I know it's true.
Right. And he's just kind of, with a smile, said, we got 2 weeks of this, and then we're done. And
then we talk about guys in this room.
The season we're having right now.
Yes.
But that was taken as a... Oh, you're smug, you're whatever. And other people did love it. Like, it was a split, but it was a discussion.
Well, to me, that's only people who are looking to stir shit up.
Sure.
People who are Leaf fans, people who want to know, who care about what happens in Toronto 25, 26. They understand, fuck Mitch, he's gone.
Yep.
And guess what? That guy's still wearing the C here, and that guy's still pulling the sled. Let's go.
Yep. Episode 2, like I said, we won't stay on this too long, but was the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Johnny Gaudreau episode. It is, if I'm being fair, it's a tough watch because they spend a lot of time on the wife and the kids.
Emma, is that her name?
Yeah, and it's the amount of things I wondered going on as the season went on, and I've been relieved of this opinion now, but as the season was going on last year, I wondered if it was too much they were asking of her to keep coming to this and keep being reminded and keep
right through to the draft. And
in the season, like in this episode though, she says, and maybe it's a brave face for the camera, like to now do this show again on top of everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, but she seems to say like, I want my kids to have the chance to remember their dad's world and how beloved he was. And that's why she kept she's at the outdoor game. She's at the first game of the season.
Everywhere. And again, she's making the announcements for the selections at the draft.
Yeah. So
give the woman
and that's sort of how I felt.
Yes.
But in seeing this, I guess that's not how she felt. And I was worried that it might drift too far the other way. Like this is a chance for her to get
enough of her.
Or this is her trying to keep the attention. Yeah. It didn't come off as that either.
No, I didn't get that.
No, it seemed very much like this is the world your dad loved.
Yeah.
And
was loved in.
Yes. And I want you to be exposed to that or whatever. So I thought it's a slightly different episode and it is a harder watch, but it was well done. Episode 3 is maybe the worst of
Can't wait.
the first season. That's the Crosby and Kopitar.
Okay.
And they called it Icon. The LA one is supposed to be this talk of Kopitar handing the baton to Byfield, lining up against the Oilers again. But it's just so dull. And Crosby, maybe
God love Sid.
Maybe I should have seen this coming, man. But when you announce that he's going to be a part of this, you kind of expect a little bit more. Let's see what Sid's like in the locker room. Let's see. You don't get any of it, man. It is his half of the episode is more other talking heads, more game footage,
Talking
more whatever.
about him.
Yes. Than in any other episode. They're stretching it as far as they can because he's giving you nothing. Like, you did get to see, I don't know if it's his house or a cottage in Nova Scotia that he stays in he let you in there a little bit, but he doesn't say anything. He doesn't.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why'd we even do this? Like, we all know he's a private guy. You should have got to a point you're like, if this is all we can get, this isn't even worth having. And I mean, at that point, maybe it's a slap in the face to him. But
which is what happened, I think, to Matthews the year before, right? They followed him the previous season, and there just wasn't enough juice.
maybe. I don't remember that. I thought it was always Willie who was the...
Yeah, no, there was both, and there
Okay.
just wasn't enough in,
And there probably wouldn't be,
in
yeah.
the Matthews thing to go.
Okay. Well, this one, man, it was not good. It was easily of the... Like I said, I stopped so far at episode 4 of season 2, so I haven't finished it yet. But out of the season and a half I've seen, unfortunately, that was the worst one yet.
But Sid had that Four Nations bump, right?
Yeah, and they did cover a little bit of it, but again, he's not giving you anything. He's not letting you in, so it's other people talking about him,
Right.
and you're just, well, then I don't need this, right?
Then I don't care.
I already see this anyway. And episode 4, is the Nylander, Shanahan, one more run with the core 4, and getting pounded by the Panthers, the way all that shakes loose, and then Shanahan's firing afterwards. I thought Willie was, maybe it's just me because I see him every day, and I saw last year's episode. I thought Willie was significantly less interesting this time than last time, but
Get the fuck out of my face.
it's and then they do obviously before getting to the Florida thing, there is a significant amount given to the Battle of Ontario and what that all looked like, and it's fine, but it wasn't as good as last year's Willie episode. And you and I talked about this when they unveiled the guys they were going to follow this year. Like, how interesting is Shanahan really going to be, right? As a guy who's not on the ice, not in the locker room. I guess for the sake of the documentary, lucky he got fired.
There
It gave you a little something.
There is a little bit of a closure there.
Sure. But even then, and it was always going to be, but it's presented with dignity. Like, they give him the chance to come out and say, it's still the honor of a lifetime to have blah, blah, blah. I don't know. So far, the Brady one has been the most interesting, but I've still got half the thing to go. I don't know if there's 6 or 8 or whatever. But,
5 and 6. There was 6 last year, so I haven't looked all the way into it.
Yeah. I don't know. They're always interesting, but I guess some years more than others.
I just would wish that instead of Sarah Nurse and PK Subban and Pete Blackburn and Biz, Biz is just, and Jackie Redmond, that we could have done
A little more high...
better. Well,
There is. I don't remember if it's at the end of episode 1 or maybe episode. It's in the Icons one, episode 3. Kopitar. There's suddenly we haven't talked about him at all, but here's 4 minutes on Ovechkin's breaking of the goal record. It's shoved and pigeonholed into the very end of the episode.
because Sid Novi kind of.
I guess, but it's just here's an interview briefly with Gretzky, and here's some footage of him breaking the record. But there's no build. He's not a character in this. It's just, I guess we should touch on this. It was kind of a big deal, and it's pigeonholed into the end of that episode.
If I give you 32.5 goals, Ovechkin over under.
Over. He broke his leg last year.
Yeah. Where do you think he ends this season at in goals?
38, 39.
I say under.
Okay. Well, we can circle back
I'm
to
not
that.
sure under 32.5, but I just haven't found the number. But if it's 34.5, I'm going under.
Okay. I would still, it's tougher for me, but it's still
Okay.
an over.
Right,
If
so
he's- assuming 82 games, as always, right?
Yeah. Well, Christ, the guy broke his leg last year in season and still
I'll be
scored.
back to shatter the
Yeah,
record.
so I just expect him to. Yeah, I expect this to be a big step back.
And it could be. And we did do in that
maybe
NHL
maybe
questions,
hopeful
will it
thinking.
be his last season in the NHL?
Right.
And
Whatever I said that time was gold.
okay. I should mention, because I didn't off the top, we will talk some baseball on the back half. You and I are recording this early in the afternoon on Sunday. The Jays play the Yankees for Game 2 at 4:08. So we will get into what we saw in Game 1 and things like that here later on in the show. Then there will be a break. We'll watch game 2 and then react to that later on. So we will get to the baseball here a little bit later on. Look, there's a bunch of hockey re-signings and moves like that, but has there been anything of note to you through training camp for the Sens that you want to touch on?
Sorry, I was going in a different direction. I'm glad training camp's over.
Yeah.
Like at the end, there's been so much hand-wringing and butt clenching over getting spanked against the Habs in Quebec City.
The Sens seem to be on a very similar trajectory in that regard to the Leafs, where Toronto sent the Marlies and Calle Yarncroke up here and beat a reasonably competent Sens full. And then the reverse happened 3 nights later. Ottawa sent their B squad to Toronto.
Early in preseason, usually.
Well, I don't know if Ottawa changed direction at that point. Toronto stuck with it, sent the B team to Montreal, big win, had the A team at home, loss. A team, big win in... I've got that back. Anyway, in Detroit, we lost. The A team lost, and then had a lead. The B team did down in Detroit and blew it with Jimmy Rhymes in goal. Yeah, lost in overtime.
Oh, it was 5-3 Leafs last night.
It sure was.
Okay. I just assumed that was a Leaf win.
And I don't know. It's hard to read too much into any of it, but it is odd that, and maybe it just shows nothing more than the guys further down the depth chart are hungrier. I don't know.
Of course, that's exactly what it is. And the Sens, even up to Saturday night in Montreal, which was the big rematch
with our fresh new face puncher
of the Tiltsville, all the things that happened up in Quebec City where the Habs won the game 5-0 and won every fight. Like it was just, you're like, welcome to preseason, Montreal. Good for you guys. And listening to 690, TSN 690 out of Montreal, the day after, man, you would have think Charles Manson was out there and writing in blood on the wall. Like they're saying Ottawa, the biggest Bush franchise ever, and they have been that way since inception. And
they must have just watched episode 1 of Face Off.
Man, they were all over how terrible, neglecting some of the most Bush things that Montreal did, which it went both ways. Yeah, and even on Saturday night.
I hate that shit in preseason, man.
Yeah, of course. And we don't need it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody needs it.
Well, that Florida-Tampa gong show on Saturday night.
Both of them.
What are you doing? Like, who is it you're proving something to at this?
Well, no, I love it in somebody else's.
Sure. If you two are beating each other up.
If there's so many people in the penalty box that some have to stand, like, I love that in somebody else's preseason game.
Sure.
I don't want to see Carter Yakimchuk get body slammed by Florian Jacki. Like,
there's a great, if I can just circle back, there's a great meme from the bubble, right, when the NHL moved in there during the heaviest days of the pandemic. And in game 1 or game 2 of the Leafs Blue Jackets series, the Leafs have 4 guys in the penalty box. And somebody quote tweets it with "me and all my homies when social distancing is done."
Yeah, we're all in the same bubble.
This is it. We're all
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, the good days, the beauty days, the golden days of the pandemic.
Living in the Royal York and walking to work every day.
Are you in my bubble? No, you're not in my bubble. Beat it. But I don't need to see that in my team. And even on Saturday night, Ottawa played 60%, 65% of their opening night roster.
I think everything but the top line, basically, right?
Oh, there was no Stützle, no Tkachuk.
So everything but the
no
top
Batherson,
line.
no Nick Cousins.
Oh no.
Yeah. No Ridley Gregg.
Because that guy was going to get mauled.
Oh, he would have been the flashpoint for shenanigans, 100%. So no Ridley Gregg as well.
Yeah.
So obviously no Clevin. So just to me, in terms of, you had 60 to 70% of your opening roster.
Yep.
And most importantly, you had Ullmark and you had your top 4D because it looked way more controlled in the defensive zone for Ottawa. I love the addition of Lars Eller. Even in one night, you watch that guy as a fourth line guy. Like, to me, that is a nice. If you can go as a center, you go Stützle, you go Dylan Cousins, you go Shane Pinto, you go Lars Eller.
Flip it.
Yeah, well, will it be that way forever?
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm just saying,
Yep, good depth.
it's nice down the middle in Ottawa, and if you can go with Sanderson as a 1D and Ullmark as your starting goalie, I'm feeling confident. And all the hand wringing, as I said, do we need to be tougher? And you're like, fuck, man.
Well, so you go out and get McDermott for McEwen.
Yeah, okay. Wait.
What was that? Can't just have been about Saturday in Montreal.
Well, if nothing else, you hope McDermott.
Like, he is a legit heavyweight. He is.
Yeah.
One
and
of
so
those
the thing
guys.
is, we had Austin Watson,
Yeah.
who is not a heavyweight, but he'll fight anybody, but he never wins.
Yeah. Same with McEwen.
And then we let Watson go and bring in McEwen.
Yeah.
And then we play. He was in Tampa.
McEwen?
No, Austin Watson.
Oh, yeah.
That's where he ended up.
Yes.
And then Austin Watson comes in and he punches out Zach McEwen. You're like, wait, man, how did we end up
We have guys who are willing to fight, but
Yes.
not guys who are scaring anybody.
So at the end of the day, he's not playing. To me, that's a nothing. But if we've upgraded the face puncher,
it's an upgrade.
a guy who's going to
Yes.
play 30 to 35 games,
Yeah.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it. But to me, if you have Arbor Jackeye, like to me, Arbor Jackeye, top 3 fighter in the league.
Yeah.
We're not going to get somebody better than him. So don't bother. You don't bother getting.
Well, this was the reasoning, though, behind McEwen. Was Toronto brought in Reeves, Montreal had Jackeye, Boston had Lucic brought back. Yeah. And there was.
yeah, it was the arms race.
It was becoming a bit of a heavyweight tilt
Yes.
up here. And
But we ended up with.
now Lucic is gone and Reeves is gone. I don't know
we
that it
ended
was
up with
still
the
worth.
worst guy.
I guess, but now it's like, do you still need it? But maybe it doesn't matter. Like you said, for 30 games.
And so Saturday night, despite both Jack guys playing,
Yeah.
you don't play that game against them. If you can't win that game, you don't play that game.
Yep.
So I don't know how we got here.
No.
I've probably taken us here, but anyways, it's to me, I'm happy for McDermott. We'll see you 30 games in the year.
One of the things that I did touch on with Wally on Friday that I'd like to get your take on was the Quebec City experience. I don't know how much anybody in Quebec really cared about the Ottawa-New Jersey game, and then when Montreal was in town, it was 90% Habs fans
Are
in the
you
building.
sure?
Well, I was not there. I'm trusting,
kidding, man.
Julian McKenzie.
It
and-
was the ole and
Yeah.
oh man, it was such.
You couldn't get the broadcast done. We circle back to the original announcement featured that there would also be regular season games, and we had the split jersey thing.
Yeah. Sparty.
One of the things Wally said, which I think is a reasonable enough point, he's like, if you're serious about this, you can't be scared off right now. You have to keep doubling down and do it every single year, and until you have laid down a footprint. Or do you go, cut your losses? This was a fucking disaster. Next year, we now know, which we didn't at the time, that there will only be 4 preseason games. As much as people say they don't like preseason hockey, there was a lot of complaining that Ottawa only had 1 home game this time. Are you more on the cut your losses side of it, or the keep going, man?
Yeah, no. I think they've missed that window in Quebec City.
Yeah, 98, 2000, give it a shot.
Like if you look at and Thomas Chabot being the guy who's
His family were the only Sens fans in the building.
so this is a
Game
guy.
2.
So Shabby is now 28, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up a Habs fan. His dad, who was probably my age,
Yeah.
grew up a Nordiques fan.
Mm-hmm.
You missed that window, right? Once the Nordiques went to Colorado,
Get in there.
that's the point. Whereas you've now gone 30 years,
Yeah.
whatever it is, with a whole 2 generations of kids growing up going, that's a French speaking team. That's our provincial team.
Yep.
We're Habs fans, man. And Christ, you see it in Gatineau.
Well, that's where, like, that's right here. Get in Gatineau. Doubled more games.
Yes.
or
Exhibition games at the Slush Puppy
scrimmages,
Center.
whatever. Get
Yes.
in there. But
And so, to me, you do it here and you do it in the Maritimes.
right.
You get into New Brunswick, You get into PEI, you get into Halifax. I understand it's Crosby territory and McKinnon territory, but Sens games are played down there.
Mm-hmm.
I think
on TV. Yeah,
on TV.
Yep.
I think you cut bait. You cut it on Quebec.
And maybe you have the easy out here that when you signed this deal, you're playing like 8 preseason games a year. Now moving forward, we're playing 4. We have to be at home for
and you're gonna, if you're not gonna be in Ottawa, you be in Gatineau.
You be in Gatineau.
Like, to me, you do that, or you sort of
And it doesn't even have to be an exhibition game. Like, go for scrimmages over there like you did a year or 2 ago. Or,
you do a black and white game over there.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, still lots of hockey stuff to get to here on the other side, but it's time for a pint and, well, another pint as we race towards first pitch for Game 2. We'll take a break here. Stay there.
Driven to left field. Another home run for Alejandro Kirk.
Still a few hockey things to get to, and then we'll talk a little about Blue Jays Game 1 and tee up Game 2, then react to Game 2, whatever you want to call this. The baseball stuff is coming. Kirill Kaprizov, 8 times 17 for a guy who I guess recently turned down 8 times 6. I think I mentioned this when that first report came out that he had turned down 8 times 16, and everyone was flabbergasted.
Me included.
Well, that he, to me, if you, like, it's fair to have an opinion that you would turn that down. I was irritated by the focus on, that would make him the richest player in history.
Yeah, I know.
With the cap going where it's going, that was always on the table. Like, that was not a shocking part of the conversation.
You have always been, and I think, ahead of the curve on the percentage of the cap.
Yep.
Right? I think for even, like, myself...
Well, because the cap number is different every year. So how are we going to compare?
And I just think for your average to hardcore fan who hasn't always been on the percentage issue,
it's a harder number to pin down.
It takes more math and it takes more involvement to go, yeah, but.
Yep.
And so I think for a lot of people, they just look at it and go straight dollars to dollars.
Right.
They don't look at the expanding cap because it's exploding.
Right. It is. And then that's what's making this one so complicated. And he does, at the end of the day, end up taking a higher percentage of the cap than McDavid's 12.5, than Crosby's original 8.7. So those guys are centers, I think widely acknowledged to be better.
Delicious.
With longer runways. I guess Rob is not so subtly pointing out we have skipped a step here in the second half of the show. What do you got, man?
That is not the case. I just was commenting on the delightfulness of the beer that I just cracked. That is a grain and grit, good as gold, New England style
and is it?
IPA. It is.
As good as gold.
Man, I find it to be, at 6%, it's 100%, man. That's exactly where I would go with that. And if you see this, I would grab this and I would drink it. And
Grab it by its haunches.
I would put one in both hands.
Wow.
That's what I would do.
Haunches or beers?
Take your pick.
You know what? Yeah. Over here, Collective Arts. Been
always good stuff.
a month or 2 though since I've
So we're in the same neck of the woods here.
That's right. Yeah, down in Hamilton. I took some flack. I didn't know.
Heavy fire.
We had
Would you call it heavy fire?
We had this extended family reunion thing camping last week. And I didn't know at the time that I was sitting next to somebody who very, very much enjoyed 40 Creek whiskey. And I hit it.
Because they married their cousin.
That's what we were all there for. Okay. To watch that. And I hit it with the same title I've always hit it with, the Hamilton Harbor Water. It's what goes into 40 Creek.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there's an irritated stare coming across the campfire circle. Anyway, I shrugged it off.
Yeah.
We had a moment there.
Well, for those of you from north of 7, if there's a campfire, there's usually somebody rolling through it because there's been a fight.
Put on your plaid or your flannel and it'll protect you.
Let's go!
we were sitting there on the Saturday night around the fire, and it's getting a little late. It's probably about time to be shutting it down. And so people are gradually, I don't know if I'd ever heard this term before. Maybe you have the Irish exit.
100%, man. That means you don't say goodbye. You just get up.
Maybe he's just going for a whiz. Maybe he's just going for another beer.
No, he's leaving.
But he's not coming back.
That's the Irish goodbye. 100%, man.
So people were slowly getting up and disappearing. And we were all sitting on my parents' they have the fifth wheel, and so we were all on their lot, despite the rest of us being spread out all over the place. We're having a fire there. And so it's my dad's fridge that's most easily accessible to everybody for the whole party. And as...
Everybody, yes.
Yeah, well, it is. And as my sister is trying to talk people out of leaving when they get up, she's like, hey, stick around, have some more of my dad's rum. And it was that over and over again. Hey, don't go. There's lots more of my dad's rum. Don't you want some of my dad's rum? And I'm sure at some point my dad's like, make sure that there's some of your dad's rum left for your dad here, because he's still here. He's not. You're giving it away right in front of him. But have some more of my dad's rum. That was the ended up being the line of the weekend.
And if you're drinking any kind of whiskey that's got maple in it or has cinnamon in it, you're like, you know your whiskey is bullshit. Let it stand on its own 2 feet as whiskey.
This is, like I said, from the Collective Arts. This is the Good Monster Imperial New England IPA.
Yeah!
8.5%.
Yeah!
So we'll see whether or not I'm going to be up for the second recording session here after game 2.
I see a needle light in my future.
There's going to have to be a pumping of the brakes for sure before, if not a pumping of the stomach. We'll see how things go here for the rest of the day.
For you, Matt.
Yeah. Kaprizov, this was one of those ones where you also know, despite my nerdiness for the numbers,
front of the wave, Matt. Front of the wave.
Whatever on that. Centers, man. Pay centers more. Not wingers who are hurt all the time. And yet, like in the first half of last season, before he went down, he was in the Hart Trophy conversation.
MVP.
And Minnesota, despite being the state of hockey,
Backwater.
has a little trouble attracting free agents. And stacked on top of both of those.
They call it the American Edmonton.
Minus an American McDavid, which is problematic, man.
Which is Kaprizov, the highest paid guy in the game.
So. I guess, man. You also have the owner, Craig Leopold, saying,
crazy.
No one will pay more. And I get that was supposed to be reassuring to the fans. If it's about money, he'll be here. And it turned out to be about money. And he knew
Although there was a period where it may not have been, where people were like, is it not about money? Does he just not want to be
I never
here?
bought into that as much.
Okay, but it was out there.
That was out there.
Yes.
That was being circulated.
Yes.
I just think you gave him all of the leverage and he was going to twist your nuts a little bit before settling on. And sure enough, he got an extra $1 million per year out of it. So
good for him.
100%.
Yes.
I just think this is one of those situations maybe
good for the PA.
Where he... Like, Minnesota almost had no choice. Both they'd back themselves into the corner, and what are we without him? What was your takeaway on the...
Well, just that, to me, at the end of the day, as you suggested, despite Leopold saying, I have a nice wide stance, heels are at least 3 feet
stance.
apart.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. My arms are wide.
With arms wide open.
Come on, son, give my Jimmy a twist. Like, it was... He was there... And the PA said,
get it all.
Do it.
Yeah.
Go full Monty.
Take all of it. Because we don't think Connor's going to.
And now you go, Connor can, with all consciousness, can just go 17-5. Like, he
could.
To me.
Or he could grab Leon's 14 and go, I'm a good team guy. The union has seen the number go up anyway. I don't have to be the guy.
To me, if that's, I will be...
I don't
gobsmacked,
think he's going to take Leon's 14. I don't think he's going to pass.
I think he's going to pass. I think
isn't that at that point you don't get to look at Oilers fans with a straight face and say I'm all about winning.
He gets to say, I am the best player in this league, and I cannot take less than that guy.
and this was, I think, another thing I brought up a while ago. Kaprizov needed to go first. Don't wait around and see what Connor gets to set the market, because he may set it lower than you want it. Get yours now.
And the McDavid group says,
go ahead.
We're going to let Kaprizov go first, and then we go.
Because he's got them by the nuts.
I have to go. I can't go less than that guy.
See, I'm not following you there. I think he now gets to say, I'm going to take 15 and a half, and look what a good soldier I am.
Yeah.
Look at me taking less.
So why is he not gone yet?
Because that number hadn't yet been established. And I don't know, maybe he is going to leave, or maybe he is waiting to see if Connor Ingram is going to...
He's not leaving.
I don't think he's leaving either, but...
Now, did Burt Reynolds and I not talk about Connor Ingram? I'm pretty sure Burt Ingram... Connor Ingram and Burt Reynolds and I had a little thing.
Could be, man. They have gone... the question, I think the statement was, are Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard, are they still the two goalies in Edmonton when the game one of the playoffs said? You said, I believe, no.
No.
Yeah.
And I believe Connor Ingram, who will be...
It's weird that they didn't... Like, he was placed on waivers. Now, we've talked about this before, I guess. He clears waivers.
So this is the part of that podcast that did hold and actually says, smart dude right there.
Okay. Can we move on, or we want to shine the spotlight on you a little bit longer?
How much time do we have now?
Yeah. I guess the counter argument has always been, if he clears waivers, you can now trade for him and place him directly in the minors while he gets settled. Because he has been through some things. Last year he was in the player assistance program. But when he's been right, he's been pretty good.
Yes.
And it's not a high bar to clear in Edmonton.
Oof, it is actually quite low.
So, yeah, they get to put him in Bakersfield, let him get his feet wet in the organization, get playing again, and then... It won't shock me at all now if that is your starter by January, man.
100%.
Whatever the timeline is.
And
I like the acquisition. It was a bit of a risk that someone else could have grabbed him off waivers.
And I didn't know that, but when I was looking through some stuff prior to our sort of season preview show, it talked about with the Mammoth that they had the three goalies and there was a guy coming back. And so it just sort of, when you said to me, because if you remember, you were like, well, what do you got? And I'm like,
yeah, as a replacement in Edmonton.
Yeah. And I just sort of grabbed that because that's, to me, he was the first guy.
Yep.
And so I think he is an upgrade to anything they have. And we'll see.
Jackson Lacombe.
I was going to ask you.
Who the fuck is Jackson?
Who the fuck is Jackson? When it came out, like I'd heard the name.
8 times 9 million.
Like I'd heard, and I'm like, I can't be the only guy who's looking around going, when they said, and they've extended Jackson Lacombe, and I'm like, yeah, okay, 5 million.
3 million.
9 million.
For
I'm like,
8 years.
I'm like,
I should learn more about this guy.
What is this? It's like when you're driving, it's like when Ontario in the early 2000s went through all these amalgamations.
Yeah.
And I'd lived in Peterborough since
I'm in a super city.
Since the mid 80s.
Oh, you didn't live in a super city.
No, but I've been up and down the 115 100 times.
Greater Norwood.
And when I saw Kawartha Lakes, 27,000 people, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
That is, out of all the super cities that were created, that one is the most irritating.
Well, but I'm just like, there's a place with 28,000 people between Peterborough and Oshawa? This is news to me. But it's this Lindsay greater area.
Up to Halliburton.
Yeah, so I'm like, there's no way there's
River
fucking,
and
like,
across to Kinmount. And like,
but the highway sign says 27.5. And I'm like, what? So anyways, Jackson Lacombe
is Greater Norwood.
Is the Greater Kawartha Lakes area. And I'm like, who the fuck is Jackson Lacombe?
Well, you and I aren't watching enough Ducks games, apparently.
No, and I get that. I get the West Coast, sort of East Coast bias.
Yeah. But
I'm
look
like,
at
$9 million bucks.
Well, a far more household name is Luke Hughes. He gets 7 times 9. I'm still like, wow. And 140 games or whatever
Hutson
this guy has played.
Hey.
Thanks, boys.
Give me that Bouchard money plus.
That's it, man. And I look at these guys, And like I said, I'm not going to speak on Jackson Lacombe. I don't know. I know a little
Because I didn't even
more.
know his name. Like,
Luke Hughes, we've seen come up through the NTDP in the U.S. and, World Juniors, and now what he's stepped into, like his first venture for 20 games or whatever it was at the end of 2 seasons ago. People are like, I don't know, right? Like, he's not catching up. Now, it's a defenseman at 20 years old or whatever. You give them time. And now all of a sudden, like, it used to be kind of novel that, you know what, we're just going to sign you up early. Kind of the Stutzla thing, right?
and Lacombe is 22.
Yeah, and I think Hughes is as well.
Yeah.
But like
they're both sort of
the
20,
Stutzla
21
approach
drafts.
was we don't know yet if he's worth $8 million.
I use
might,
Jake Sanderson as the comparison.
Sure.
That's an $8 million guy here in Ottawa. And
Yeah.
when he
We
signed
don't know yet.
people around the league were like, what
Are you
the
fucking
fuck?
for real? And now it's commonplace. That's just what we do. Before we don't want to find out that you're actually a $10 million guy or a $12 million guy.
Yes.
We'll give you 8 now if you'll commit long term. And that just seems to be the play now. And so $9 million is sort of what all those got. Darnell Nurse and Seth Jones and Zach Werenski. And there was one summer where Quinn Hughes,
Yeah.
I believe, like a bunch of really good defensemen took $9 million, and that was sort of the going rate. And now to get these guys that you expect to be really good at $9 million while the cap explodes, like these may turn out to be like absolute bargains. But we don't know yet.
And
Like,
we talked about it and again, to me, Jake Sanderson. So I'm expecting Jackson Lacombe,
yeah.
to be Sanderson comparable.
Sure. I don't know.
And he had 42 points last year,
Yeah.
14 goals, 28 assists.
A couple years younger.
1 year younger.
Okay.
But you are expecting him then to be on the radar for the U.S. national team.
Mm-hmm.
You're expecting.
And Anaheim is another one of those teams, similar to Minnesota, who almost had to give Kaprizov what he wanted because they don't get free agents. So we need to lock our guys in.
But you are looking at this is a team with Zegras,
This was also not a good week for Canucks fans. Who?
Drysdale,
Yeah.
who
Wow.
Verbeek held tight on.
Yep.
McTavish
Yes.
held firm on.
$7 million he
Firm,
got.
firm.
So if Jackson Lacombe
Traded away Drysdale, traded away Zegras.
Yeah. Lacombe's like, give me $9 million. He's like, okay.
All right.
There must be something to
Yeah,
it.
well, that's it. And so I'm just like, Jackson Lacombe better be the shit. Like, this has got to be,
Yeah.
that's the thing of all these things, whether it be players, coaches that got extended, you're like, Jackson Lacombe?
But you're so right. Lane Hutson says, do not speak to me about a number under 9. Like, that's now my basement.
It is 8 digits. It's 8 digits for Hudson. Like, there's no way you come in under that Bouchard number.
Yeah.
Like,
That Bouch bomb.
This is it, man. And you go, I don't know, man. He's had one full season.
Yep.
And you're like, Calder.
Well, both Lacombe and Hughes have played less than 160 games in the league and got these deals. Like, that's just the going rate now. So Lane Hutson's at like 85. I think he played a couple at the end of 2 seasons ago and then the full year last year.
You get paid for points.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what your deal is, and Hudson of those 3 he's the guy.
I guess.
At 66
Sounds
points.
like we're missing out on some serious Jackson Lacombe action that
Wow.
we need to stay up for.
I can't wait. I can't wait now to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
When you look at Knobloch getting extended and Calgary Huska. That to me, the Knobloch thing, whatever, he got a 3-year extension, 2-year for, I believe, Huska.
Yep.
And you're like, fuck, that to me is good for Huska. They had that sort of, I thought they were going to be a bottom 5 team, and they just missed the playoffs. Man, I do not see that team.
Yeah, the bottom's going to fall out again.
And Huska's like, woo!
I'm cashing in right now before I get blamed for this shit. Yeah.
That is, we're good to go.
Yeah.
That's money in my pocket. I just think that's going to come back to haunt somebody.
Knobloch is interesting as well at this swing point for the the organization, right? Like,
Is that more to, hey, Connor,
well, this is it.
We've
We
invested
brought in your
guy.
agent as the president. We brought in
Your junior coach
Yeah.
as the coach.
Yeah.
And
I'd have been saying to him, yeah, we'll pay you when Connor signs. Like
100%, man, exactly. If Connor wants, then you go over to Connor's house with
Right.
your White Claw and your Coors Light, and you say, hey, man, what about this?
Yeah.
Think back to the Erie days when we were both nothing.
We need to make this happen.
Right fucking now!
Right?
Little panic in his voice.
If I'm Chuck Knobloch,
This needs to happen.
yes,
Right fucking now!
yes,
Right fucking now!
yes.
Right fucking now!
But apparently not.
No,
'cause
no panic
guess
at
what?
all, man. He's good to go. I did quickly, just because I didn't get to it when we were talking about Kaprizov. Who's the bigger bargain now in comparison to Kaprizov at $17 million? Is it Draisaitl at 14 or Pasternak at 11.5?
It's Draisaitl.
Yeah,
Man, that to me,
because Pasternak, a year older, he's got 6 left at 11. 6 years left at. It's great value
6
now.
years at 11.5, and Draisaitl has
7 left.
7 or 8.
Maybe he's just starting the
I think
14
he's
this
just
year. I
starting
think that's right. You're right.
14.5.
Yeah, you're right. And I think it's 14 flat.
Okay, I think both are great, but
Yeah.
I just like, and you'll love this, Matt. I love Draisaitl as a center, and all that he does. I straight up, I like Draisaitl better than Pasternak.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think it will be negligible, the difference between the two of them moving forward when the cap increases. That Draisaitl is the guy.
Okay. Especially if he's suddenly a number 1 center. We'll see.
Oof.
Yep.
Shot across the bow of you Oiler fans.
The PWHL, just quickly, I know I didn't warn you about this, but I was sort of reading about it
Totally
just
good,
before
man.
you were on your way over.
I got takes.
Announced their schedule, which often feels like it's coming out kind of late for a season that's beginning in mid-November. No break in April for World Championships.
Hey.
We also haven't heard a date for when World Championships
Guess
is
what,
going
Matt?
to
They're not going to be in April.
They're not going to be in April. There's been some talk around the hockey news that it looks like they will shift to November. They had done a summer a couple of times, but that was, I think, mostly due to the pandemic. November, I think it's great for the PWHL.
Yes.
I've never really loved the World Cup of hockey's
The preseason.
that happened before the season. I wonder what this does to Worlds. Like, you can still centralize now a month out without interfering in other people's regular seasons.
It's the World Classic of baseball or whatever the
World
hell that is.
Baseball Classic. Yes, exactly that, man. I do wonder if the World Championships suffer being in November, but like, you can't wait until May. That's when the men's is going on, so all your officials and your whatever are tied up. Also, you don't have the depth yet that the men do to have that championship while your other pro leagues playoffs are
Right.
still going on. I love this for the PWHL. It allows them to be more routine, get people settled in and figuring it out. We've talked about that before, but I'm not sure what the right time is for Worlds now.
Well, and this is just the evolution, and we've talked about this, and I know Shrides has been on here and talked about this too, that this is the evolution of the Women's Pro League, that Worlds will become secondary and will dovetail
Subservient even.
its schedule to what works for the women's game. When you have 90% of the top talent playing in North America, you have to move. And so to me, the fact you will not see women's worlds in April.
We do this year. There is obviously the Olympic break is scheduled in, but that's unavoidable. It's going to happen every league, every 4 years.
And so to me, this is a positive
Yeah.
for the women's game that you are sort of not competing.
Well, let me stop you there for a second. Is it a positive for the women's game or is it a positive for the PWHL? And are those two things the same?
They are the same.
Okay.
To me, when you
There
have
you go, everybody. Strong opinions.
when you have the best players in the world, 90% of them playing in the PWHL,
Yeah.
that is the women's game. And so there will be a time, like the NHL, the PWHL will become what the NHL is. There are good players in the Swiss league, in the Swedish league,
Yep.
in the
Russian
in
league.
the KHL.
Yep.
There are good players there, but nobody ever for a second thinks that they are PWHL or
Right.
NHL teams.
Yeah.
And so that is where when the women's game, and it is there, I think it's getting closer and closer. This is good for the PWHL. This is good for the women's game.
Would you, and we don't know, we'll have to see how all of this is going to shake loose. But with the men's worlds being kind of early May through kind of May long weekend, do you think there's a chance that women's worlds, instead of being in April, could be in June? Like, is that better than November?
Do you think there's a chance that they could put them both together?
No, it's too big. Like, Worlds now has like 18 teams or whatever. Like, you have massive round robins on the men's side. And
So what if you streamline both and you went to 10 teams on each side?
now you're still up to 20 teams.
You got the Latvians there.
I understand, but it's not the number of teams. Like, is there enough teams? It's the logistics of rinks and game times and
yeah, but you
number
then,
of officials, and it's not even on ice officials, right? It's IIHF officials that have to be at both.
You cut down men's teams, and you.
How do you think that's going to go over?
I think you have to look at the Euros in soccer.
I don't think there's any chance that these teams that are scraping in at 12 through 15 or 16 teams at men's worlds are going to sign off on you're cutting us loose to run a women's world side by side. I
They
think
do it in
that's a hell
soccer.
of a fight. Yeah.
And the Euros love that. When the Icelandic team makes its way to the Euros in soccer, it's a story, man. And so
But that bounces all over. It's not hosted in one stadium in one city, right? Like,
no, but it is. You are talking about Euros are much more centralized and tighter than a World Cup or any of those sorts of things.
yeah.
I'm just saying
I think it's a logistical nightmare.
you
right now.
are looking at the evolution of you make it a hockey festival.
I'm okay with that idea, but to bring you back to my question, if it's up to you, is it June or is it November?
Well, see, June's a long time in between.
Like all the teams who have been eliminated from the PWHL playoffs and waiting
But
for
if
those
you made
to
me
end.
choose,
Yeah.
I'm going June.
I would go June as well.
I would go June.
I don't like November. It feels preseason-y. I think you diminish, and even if that's unfair, I think you diminish the feel of it when it happens at the beginning of the year.
You give countries a couple of months. Well, you give PWHL teams those eliminated, which is where your best players will be.
Yep, of course.
You give them a couple of weeks off, and then they centralize in wherever worlds are.
Mm-hmm.
You bring them in. That's much more optimal for top-end competition than November is.
And we're still hungry for top-end action. Like now you're running neck and neck for positive or negative with the end of the Stanley Cup playoffs, but we're all in hockey mode still. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's weekends. It's early mornings.
Yep.
Usually if it's in Europe.
Yep.
We're good to go, man. We are used. Those who love the men's worlds, which I'm not sure I love, but I certainly tune in.
I enjoy that it's there. It's,
Yes.
Just before we get over to the Jays, we should mention Red Blacks eliminated again.
Red Blacks. Let me think.
Oh, it's
That's
bad.
CFL. CFL football.
I'm dog shit.
Yes.
Brady knows what's up. Out again, man. And I'm sort of done trying to paint over this or cover this with, yeah, but the experience is great. And the fans have been so patient, but it's such a fun place to go and spend a Friday night. And
And it is. That doesn't change.
the team stinks. They're just bad. And I've been hesitant to go too deep on this because it genuinely seems like Bob Dice is a good man. There's no evidence to suggest he's a good head coach. Sean Burke's been a nice guy. He's come in and done this show before. There's no evidence to suggest the teams he's built are good enough at this point. And this has been going on since pre-pandemic. I know he had a bit of a mess, or they had a bit of a mess to clean up after Marcel Desjardins moved on, and there are a lot of people who will take it all the way back and say it goes to him firing Rick Campbell. I don't know whether that was the real problem or not, but this has been a disaster for years now, and there are moments here and there Like last year, the second half, like, oh, okay, look, they're turning the corner. Smash in round 1 of the playoffs. And at no point this year did it seem like they were ever going to get it going. It's time. And I don't know how deep you cut, but there has to be major changes. You just cannot come back next year and say, we think with a little adjustment here and a new coordinator there, and we've brought in some new this. It's over. It's bad football. It's poorly run, and there needs to be big changes, man.
Deep cuts.
Yeah.
Like, and I look at in terms of Burke, Dave Naylor, who to me I think is the foremost CFL insider. I was talking to AJ at the 10th anniversary party. Mm-hmm. Dave Naylor was saying, "Yeah, Ottawa will be in the Grey Cup this year." This
a lot of people had high hopes this year. So what's happening? What's the disconnect between, hey, that's a good looking roster and it's not performing?
So to me, I have always sorry, Bob Dice. Mm-hmm. I've always been anti Bob Dice.
Right.
I don't like
Snake Eyes.
I don't like to listen to him. And I just think he could be a good player's coach, but that is not translating to on-field stuff.
This is like case number 1 of what they talk about in hockey, that guys moving from assistant coach to head coach, where you're the good guy, you're the go put an arm around somebody and talk, and now you've got to be the final boss, the hard ass, the whatever. Yeah. He hasn't been able to make that jump.
It hasn't worked. The results, because last year, great home field, bad on the road, and in the second half, they struggled.
Yeah.
And in the playoffs, they got smashed. They gave up 60-odd points you're just like, this is terrible. And so you got to bring, and to me, Lorenzo Malden, who was 2 years ago Defensive Player of the Year, when he left, and to me, whatever, it's telling when he says, new defensive coordinator this year, this was not the scheme for me. And the reality is, they are the lowest in terms of getting to the quarterback. This is the most ineffective team in a 9-team league. And when you have a veteran who's leaving town, and
the defensive line in previous years was a strength. Maybe
was
you're only
supposed
one.
to be a strength this year.
Yes.
And was not. It is lowest sack totals, if not the lowest. They are 8 out of 9.
Yeah.
Whatever this is, you had a defensive line that was supposed to get to the quarterback and didn't. And when the guy who is the leader of that group is leaving town saying, this wasn't the scheme for me, that's fucking telling. That's damning. It echoes loud.
How deep can you cut in one off season? Like, is this Sean Burke has one more go to wipe this entire coaching staff off the map, or is it above him? Is he going down with everybody here?
No, I keep Burke. Personally, I think he's been able to bring in talent. The Gina Lewis, the resigning of Pickett, to me,
even stand back when you brought him in was a nice, I think most people were high on it.
And I don't know if I mentioned it, but it is the coaching and it is injuries. You can't go against the.
I just mean the signing.
No, I know, but I'm just saying the injury to the O-line,
Brown
to
went
Canadiens,
down too early, and you're back to fucking Crumb.
And you are all these things, and it's just, to me, injuries to Canadiens
kill you, man.
Kill you. And I think coaching kills you. I don't know if you can, you still have Campbell. He brought in.
Well, that was all the talk, right? If this goes poorly, you've hired your own replacement. And it didn't.
And I still think he's a great or a good option. Hey.
Big chasm there.
Okay, but the guy is...
He's an experienced CFL coach who has had success. And a Grey Cup
champion in this city.
Yep.
That hasn't happened since the 70s when he won. There's a 40-year chasm of right there. And so...
How many games this year did you watch start to finish?
0.
See, for me, it's like 2. Like
My apathy,
very early on.
I'm a former season
I know, man, and this is why I'm asking you. Like, you are a CFL guy. You will, but like early on, every year, it grabs me a little. And it's because I like the league, some of the people I talk to, pump your tires a little bit and go, hey, this could be. But as the season went on, I'm just like, I will still check in. And even that has dwindled as the year has gone on. Like, I don't care. Like, the Jays are so good this year.
Yes.
That's taking my attention on Friday Night Football or what. It's nice at the cottage. I'm not sitting in and watching you lose again. I wonder, man, like, I saw a couple of different people. This is it. People talking about 96 and 06. Like 06 being the Renegades' final, right?
And
like,
I was a season ticket holder then as well.
And I wonder how close to that we're getting. Like, how close to, I'm not just apathetic this year because you're bad. You're losing me completely. I wonder.
Yeah. Well,
and 96 might not have, it might have been 93 and 06.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I understand the reference. And the thing is, I am a large consumer of local sports media.
Yeah.
TSN 1200. And so I am always happiest, or I've been happiest this summer on a Red Blacks bye week. Because we don't get any talk.
Right.
Because the team is so shit. I don't need to hear about it. Like, and so AJ, great supporter of the show.
Love him.
And in here, when he's on in the afternoon, it's a Red Black week. It's dominated in the afternoons by it, and I don't have any time for it.
Right.
I don't have any time for it because they are consistent losers.
You think about the enthusiasm that this organization came in with and people were willing to tolerate in that first season where it was 2 wins or whatever it was. Like, you understand what this is. We're excited about this. We trust this ownership group more. We're happy with the vibes down around the stadium. And man, it's all falling apart. Like, there are days where you put on the game and the stadium is nowhere close to full.
No, you're talking about 15 to 18,000 tops.
Yeah. And you can't live that way, man. Like, the organization won't survive. Like, you have to fix this fast. And you can do that in the CFL, but it takes major surgery.
And it comes down to, is Brown your guy?
I don't know yet. He hasn't been healthy for enough games.
You've invested for 2 more years beyond this one.
Yeah. He was my guy at the time. I thought it was a shrewd move to pull him out of Winnipeg. He's the next one.
And he's been injured for the 2 seasons he's been here. So to me, there is huge apathy. And again, if you're selling hope or you're selling winning, that's fine. But man, if you don't know what you got, it's huge. If apathy sets in, you are fucking dead.
No apathy right now around the Jays, who, as you and I sit here, and we'll tee this up once more so people understand, it is Sunday afternoon around 3 o'clock as you and I are talking. So we have seen the results of Game 1. We have not seen the results of Game 2, but after Game 2, you and I will chat again over the phone and kind of wrap it up that way. Game 1 was as on script Toronto Blue Jays as it possibly could have been.
100%.
Survive some stressful moments and then just irritatingly chip away a walk here and a single there and a steal here and then a bloop double and 2 guys score. Kirk has chosen a fairly ideal time to become one of the greatest power hitters in the history of the game.
When he strokes it, right, you're just like, yeah, it's going. When he hits the ball, it just, man, it looks.
Well, I do wonder, and without body shaming anybody, but his bat speed was down throughout August and September, and he struggled, and so did Vladdy. I wonder if it's nothing more than having those 4 or 5 days off, and we always have this conversation, rust versus rest, and a lot of teams who get the bye go down fast. I do wonder for those 2 guys specifically. Those couple days were big. I got my bat speed going. Now, in Kirky's defense, he was huge in that last weekend as well on Saturday and Sunday against Tampa.
But you saw Heineman get way more starts down the stretch.
So it finishes 10-1, whether it felt 10-1
It was 2-1 in the 7th.
It was very scripted to, like, not just the way they did come back and do it, but they so often struggled against a starter and had to chip away at the pen later. Now, I was surprised how fast the Yankees
3rd inning, baby.
gave away, moved
Heel.
off heel and went to the pen from there.
Tim Hill, could you not go from heel to heel? Could we not do better than that?
Camilo Duvall steps in. He was very good for 2 innings, kind of shutting you down, and then it got away from them, and the Jays did what the Jays do. I don't know. There's a bunch of places we can take this, but
is it no more than Yankees bases loaded with nobody out in the 6th, and they get 1 run, including a strikeout?
it's massive, man. Massive.
And then you go Jays bases loaded, nobody out in the 7th, and they get 4.
Yeah. That was an interesting moment because, like, Gausman had clearly lost it. He was so good through the first 5 innings.
Stroking it.
And then suddenly it was just gone. And I was switching back and forth between Sportsnet and the Fox broadcast. Fox seemed to be more on top of, because it's John Smoltz, so guy knows his pitchers reasonably well.
know anything about pitching?
He knows a bit. And he was talking about, he kept calling, he's pulling his splitter. Like, and it's just not breaking. It's just gone. And when it doesn't move the way it's supposed to, it kind of hangs there. And all of a sudden, ball. And like you said, the bases are suddenly loaded.
So I'm watching it, and I'm watching it on the Sportsnet.
Yeah.
And it became very apparent in the 6th that they stopped chasing the splitter.
Yeah.
Right? And so I don't have the benefit of the smolts,
Yeah.
but it was very obvious to the naked eye and the un-Cy Young pitching eye that you go, yeah, once they stopped chasing his
But it
splitter.
happened fast. Like,
Because he had, at the start of the 6th, I looked at the graphic, and he had 51 pitches
he was
to start
cruising.
the 6th. And you're like, that's crazy.
5 first pitch outs, which was the most in the playoffs so far
Including
this year.
one off of Grisham's foot.
Well, we'll take it.
Yeah, of course we will.
But it just disappeared on him in the 6th, and you're like, okay, when do you make the move? When do you make the move? Like, do you and he blew the pitch against Judge, and Judge just swung through it anyway. Like,
God
that
bless
was
ya.
love you, man. Thank you for that. And then all of a sudden you go to Varlin. Varlin finds his second hardest thrown pitch of the season, 100.7 miles an hour to strike out Stanton.
Giancarlos!
It's so irritating to strike out Judge and then walk Bellinger on the very next one. You're like, ugh. But to get out of that situation, bases loaded, nobody out, having to face Judge and Stanton and only give up 1, you're like, I'll take it. Like, it's annoying, but I'll take it.
And then you load the bases.
Then you do it. Yeah.
And then you cash in. And to me, that is...
Jays only struck out twice yesterday. And that, again, if we're talking about a Blue Jays script for success, that's what they do. They just hang around. They're annoying, fouling things off, driving you deep into counts.
Putting balls in play.
Yeah. And I did see our friend Nick Ashbourne from the Blue Jays Happy Hour podcast point out that they had like 4 in a row ground balls to Volpe. He's like, hitting the ball directly at Volpe is actually a fairly viable strategy.
Yes,
it
it
just
is.
hasn't paid off yet. Stick with it though. It'll come.
Because I said that to the better half when we were watching, and she's like, but he's just throwing out 3 blue. And I'm like,
Keep at it.
Yeah.
Show some patience.
I'm like, that's the.
What did you think of them bringing in Hoffman with the huge lead?
I liked it. To me personally, I thought, guy's been off for 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, whatever it is. You give him the opportunity to come in, get a little bit of. If we need him Sunday, which we'll talk about. Then you have the option where he's seen live fire, actual ALDS action, and then he has the Monday off. I like it. I liked it a lot.
I was of 2 minds of it the whole way through. I'm like, you're up by whatever was the first time, up by 4, and then after the next inning, before you get to, you're up by 8 or 9. I'm like, it would be negligence to show him to the Yankee hitters right now. And yet, at the same time, as I'm talking about with Kirky and Vladdy, that bat speed came back, can you come in here when nothing matters and show me, are you still at 94 or are you at 97? And he came back and he hit 97. Now everything plays off that a little bit better. So I have time for that. Like,
And
the circumstances are low right now.
he didn't see Judge,
No,
Bellinger,
that's right.
Stanton.
But I was sort of like,
But he got the live reps.
yep. It was more, for me, it wasn't as much about the live reps as John Schneider saying, show me, have you rebounded? Like, did those days off help you? And it appears they did. So, like you said, we'll see how Sunday plays out, whether they need him or not. You do have Monday off for the travel day. I don't know, man.
I'm fired up to see you Savage today.
This is fantastic. I like the way they set it up. I'm not really sure why John Schneider felt the need to announce his entire plans. Like, when he came out and unveiled that Gosman was going to start game 1, just leave it there. You can announce on Sunday who comes next and who comes next. I don't know why he laid out the whole plan, but I'm with you. I think it makes more sense to have you Savage at home and Bieber on the road.
Bieber, you bring in a Cy Young winner.
Yep.
On the road in Yankee, he will not be affected. Now, you win game 1, he looks like a genius.
Yeah.
You don't win game 1.
Yep.
It's questionable.
Well, this was it, right? This is the other big narrative was the Jays had to have game 1. While the Yankee pitching was still out of whack.
And you've used all high leverage other than Bednar.
Yep.
You've
Well, I'm not
lost.
sure we're going to see Luke Weaver again. He was brutal and has been.
Well, he and Doval are both out of the circle of trust. And
Well, I think Duvall may have worked his way back in
Good.
over the last little bit. But yeah, okay.
Good. Perfect.
I wonder, like, I'm trying to be reasonable or rational or whatever. Like, it was great to take game 1, and it didn't really matter what the score was. Just get it, because you had to have it. But you are now. It's Max Fried, and then it's going to be Carlos Rodon, and then Schlittler, who was fantastic in that game 3 against the Red Sox. So
But he also gave up had to throw 45 pitches last time he saw the Jays in the first
inning. Yeah, they wore him out. But it is interesting to note that, like, game 1 went the way I think everybody thought it would.
Or hoped in
it
Toronto.
would. Yeah.
Yes.
And so you got it. Like, full credit. Like, super encouraging to see Vladdy getting on base and hitting home runs early on.
I was
the great play
so
defensively.
Fired up. Like, honestly, as somebody who just saw my Senators make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Man, I was with Geddy Lee doing his little.
Sure.
I was honestly when Vlad hit that home run, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Fist in the air, like I was.
Over here, there was no yell, just a fist pump, like a.
I was fired up
because you're not going anywhere without him. So show me that you're here, and he's here. And he said, we saw that after that there was a home run and a double, I think, after that, or a single after that.
Single.
Not even the full way through. His 5 total bases through those 2 at bats were more than his previous
and a sack fly
playoff appearances.
It just continued to like to me he had a better game than Aaron Judge head to head.
Yep. And Yankees fans are already melting down on Judge. Like, he's not a playoff
because he does
guy.
not. This is it.
Yeah,
despite him going 3 for 5 or whatever it was, he is
single,
double.
Yep.
And
I'll take that.
Yeah, for sure, man. You keep him in the yard, and he is not a thus far not a playoff performer. He did not have a great Red Sox series.
Yep.
So let's do it.
Put the pressure on him. If you could somehow grab this one here. The Yankees always, it's no different than any sport. Get a split in the first 2 and whatever else. And they got Max Fried. He's the guy to do it. But you can wear him down. We've beat the Yankees.
And bring their bullpen on, because Fried's he's not going 8.
I can't remember the number now. It was one of the Yankees reporters who said the Yankees have now lost 7 out of 8 at Rogers Center or something this year. So
when
put the pressure on him.
It was Shai Davidi or Arden Zwelling, I can't remember who interviewed Jazz Chisholm after the Red Sox.
Yes,
Yankees.
that was Arden.
And when he went through the whole thing, and then the final question was, now you're going up to Toronto, and Jazz is like, well, we're going up there to play a team that's beat up on us all year.
Yeah, you are.
And and we're gonna. The beatdown is coming, and I'm feeling it.
And that's all you can do, right? Like you said, as much as game 1, according to the script, was you got to get this one. You didn't just get it. You didn't just squeak it out and make them. You pounded them. And whether that matters or not, who knows? But if you're trying to plant a seed of doubt and show these guys, yeah, you're still not as good as us, then this was the way to do it.
And if you Savage can give you 5 or 6 today of good a quality start.
Yeah.
Give us a quality start.
Yep.
It bodes well for the Jays.
100%, man. We will wrap up this portion here. You're going to get the fuck out. And
Yes, I will.
we will both watch the game in our own conditions, pants on, pants off, whatever's going to happen.
Exactly.
Different
Do your thing,
pints,
man.
and I will. And then we will wrap up today's show on the phone after Game 2. So I don't know whether to say stick around. It's going to play in like 4 seconds for you. But for Rob and I at the moment, we'll wrap this up. Stay tuned later this week. Ottawa Senators season preview show, Toronto Maple Leafs season preview show, and obviously some more Jays talk as we go. So again, I feel like I'm wrapping it up, but we'll see you in like 30 seconds. Okay, back in to put a bow on this thing. The Blue Jays up 2-0 on the New York Yankees. Rob thinking exactly what I'm thinking as he sits on his couch. I'm still here in the studio. But post-game pints in order. 13-7 in Game 2. The Blue Jays headed off to the Bronx with a 2-0 lead. Man, I don't even know where to start on this one. I don't know what was the bigger story. What was more impressive, the offensive outburst or the no-hit 11 strikeout performance for Trey Savage?
Well, I like, Matt, how you have chosen to avoid any of the negatives, because really in a 13-7 Game 2 win, the positive should be where we start. Yeah. Because I was booing John Schneider in my own living room.
I know you were, man. You texted me, and there's a 15-year-old joke around here that you and I have that's Dave Matthews clears the road to Plowtown.
Paves the road to Plowtown.
Either way. And I was watching a bit of the Fox broadcast, and they kept going to break on this Dave Matthews song, which I can't remember the name of, but it starts with the horns. It's like, meep, 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 meep,
Yep.
meep, meep. Anyway.
It's not one of the Plowtown songs.
No, certainly it is not. But so I said to you, the Fox broadcast is, indicating that the Jays are plowing the Yankees, and an inning or two later, 3 innings later, whatever it would have been, you're texting me, or the Yankees are plowing John Schneider. Mr. Negative, man.
I know.
The way the roles have reversed around here lately is just wild. Let's start with the positives, though.
Yes, to me, and I for sure we can. And I just wanted to get that out of the way. I know it was Versagian in proportions.
A little bit.
But it's absolutely, it's Savage. And I just think, to not only to sit in the presser yesterday and say with a straight face, I'm made for this.
I'm built for this, yeah.
I'm built for this. And then to come out.
I fucking told you.
I just said it yesterday. Like, I couldn't have been more fresh.
Yeah. He did say in the post game with, I can't remember whether it was the one with Hazel or the one with Ken Rosenthal, that he said he did sort of have a moment afterwards like, okay, I do now have to back that up. I did say that. And he corrected himself or rephrased it again later, having now backed it up. He doesn't have to walk it back now, having walked the walk, but he did say, I think it's more we're built for this. And now, way to go, man. You're a team guy. You did your part, but it is a big statement.
Well, and I think you're okay to say, because they did say, what makes you think you can do this?
Right.
And I think it's okay. It is a team sport built of individual achievements. So it is fine to say, yeah, I get it. I'm 22, but I'm confident. I have the poise to do something like this. And so to come out and strike out 11, like at one point he had faced 11. He had 11 guys, struck out 8. Like, it was just unbelievable.
There was a rookie thing that he was tied a record for rookie strikeouts in a row or it wasn't even rookies. It was like 6 strikeouts in a row in a shutout game or something like that. It was Justin Verlander and like just legends of. So we need to not get too far ahead of ourselves. I was fine with the pull when it came. I did question it a little later on when we saw how things would shake loose. But
right. And do you think were you fine with it because obviously they didn't want the Yankee lineup to see him a third time? Is that what you're?
No, it's more. This would keep him available later if you need it, and you were up at that point when they pulled him by 11. Like, let's
12 zip.
Yeah, let's not go crazy here. You've done what we need you to do, and at this point, we should be able to coast home on some Tommy Nance and Brendan Little magic or whatever.
Justin Brule or
yeah. Didn't turn out that way, but I just thought it was time. You've done what you needed to do. Don't blow him up. He is still only making his 4th major league start. Yeah. I thought it was a reasonable enough pull.
I would like to have seen him give me another inning. Anyways, it was, and it's saying something when you have a pitching performance that overshadows a 13-run performance.
Right. And it's wild that these things are in competition for what the biggest story of the day was. Because offensively, if you'll allow me just once here, man, by like the 4th or 5th inning, even I'm sitting there giving the...
Stop! Stop! He's already dead.
I mean, not really. I was actually fine if they wanted to keep hitting him, but, it had that feel like you've kicked the shit out of these guys for 2 games now.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because
I just don't get to use that button enough. Sorry.
Yeah. And as soon as it's like, honestly, they brought in Brule and it was single, double, single. And you're like, holy, you went from a no-hitter through 5 1/3.
Yeah.
And now you can't get anybody out.
Right.
And my biggest concern at the moment was, I don't think we're going to lose this 12-run lead. No. But I don't want to give up too much mo either, right? Like, to me, you're going back. How much momentum are you going to give these guys to finish the game to go home with?
And that's what I would agree with you on, and we'll circle back to the offense, but we're here now, so we might as well address it. Like, it wasn't a concern we're going to lose this game, but it was these guys have no confidence. They look lost at the plate, like, just finish beating them up and send them home feeling that way. And not just that, you have a scheduled bullpen day on Thursday. I don't want to use 6 guys today or whatever it is. Now, both because I know there is an off day tomorrow, but I don't want to use them and I don't want to show them to you right now, right? And so in that regard, you could have talked me into another inning of Savage, but at the same time, those guys got to be better coming out like that. Like Dustin Brule, you're on the roster because you're a lefty, and that's it. So I need you to come in and throw some strikes right now. Up by 13, it's safe to throw strikes right now, man. Just do it, or 12, or whatever it was at the time.
Well, and Bieber could come in and be nails, but nails for probably 5.
Yep.
Tops 6, right? Like he's not
topped out either yet. No.
Right, and so you're going to need bullpen. So if we could have left Louis Varland in the bullpen, if we could have left Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Both of those two. Those are going to be, like, Varland might start Thursday, right? And they've now seen him twice. You don't love
You
that.
want the high leverage guys to stay in the bullpen. You want your Brules, your Nance, your Braden Fishers. You want those guys to come in and eat up some innings.
Yep.
And so
the same way Warren did for the Yankees. Like, this is over. Just get in there. Can you give us a few innings? And look, he got hit around a bit, but he settled down. The damage was done anyway, and he gave them a bunch
90
of
pitches. I think.
Yeah. So that is maybe a part of this we aren't talking enough about is Max Fried. It was one thing when you knock Heel out early in Game 1 to do that to Max Fried here in Game 2. Man, that's a massive win for you both, just to get him out and. Whatever. But again, to keep chewing up their bullpen a little. Now, again, when Warren comes in and stays in as long as he did, it takes a little bit of that away, but it's impressive what they've done now. And there's no reason going into Yankee Stadium to be afraid of Carlos Rodon. Like, he's going to be... This was we talked earlier today that game 1 win for the Jays was prototypical Blue Jays. Chip away a single, irritate you, foul off a bunch of things, go deep in counts, and just stay with it and not get struck out. This was the power that the Jays were showing off, man. The grand slams and the home run from Varsho and another one from Springer. Or no, Springer's, I guess, went off the wall.
I know Springer had a homer and a double.
That's right. Yeah, okay. And
Ernie Clement.
Oh, Ernie Clement ambushing first pitch. Just went like it was. This is not that, like, you could have talked me into the Jays being up 2-0, but never that it was going to play out this way. Like, this is unrecognizable from what I would have expected.
They are out homering the Yankees 8-1 in the first 2 games.
The Blue Jays have 8 home runs and 7 strikeouts in this series. It's a wild fucking statistic, man.
Well, and we all talked about the getting the bye and getting home field, and I wasn't so concerned about the break. Like, you look at what they did coming out of the All-Star break.
It's true.
They came out and they were hot, and having the home field, and now the Yankees are 1-8 at the Dome this year.
Yeah.
Man, it makes everything worthwhile.
100%. Vladdy, there was a couple people quite rightly pointing out that, Vlad hadn't been good enough in the previous couple of playoff appearances. He was not alone.
Dude was batting 129, I think.
Right. And so now you're talking about the home run yesterday, the double yesterday, and I should be more careful with this. This is dropping Monday. So the home run and the double on Saturday. Sunday, the grand slam. If you're looking for, look, it's the first round, and if they find a way to piss this away, maybe it won't mean anything. But he now has his signature moment, right? His highlight reel moment, his against the Yankees, a grand slam, home playoff game. Like, he has arrived. He has been what you needed him to be. And he's been good defensively as well. But, like, just at the plate, doing the things I think you pointed out earlier on, also the sack fly on Saturday's game, like, just leading at the time you needed him to lead. He looks recharged coming out of that break. I don't know if those two things are related or not, but it sure looks like it.
Well, and I don't think we mentioned that unassisted double play that he had on Saturday.
Yeah.
Where the bat barrel's coming at him and the ball's coming at him. And when Hazel in the postgame said to him, did you see the barrel coming at you? And he's like, I don't care about that. If the barrel hits me, I don't care as long as I catch the ball. And the crowd was eating it up.
Right, man. Yeah.
Right? They're just like, this is the guy we've been waiting for.
Yeah. Worth every dollar today, man. At $500 million, looks like money well spent right now.
Well, and it was Jeff Blair wrote an article, I believe, on Friday saying, I know the $500 million contract doesn't kick into next year.
Mm-hmm. It does, though.
But it needs to start now.
And mentally, it already has for the fan base. We've committed
for sure
to
it has.
Yeah, so
yes.
You need to as well, yeah.
And he was also, and now maybe it was in that article, or maybe it was Blair and Barker on the show on Friday. They were saying, this has got to come down to Vladdy against Judge, and we need our big guy to be better than their big guy. And you think that's a tall order, man. Sure. Dude is in the running for another MVP.
There's some crazy stat about him being only like the third guy in history to hit 50 home runs and hit over 300 in a season. Like, it is a tall order, and here we are.
And to be better than him and through 2 games, it's not defensively and offensively.
Yep.
And when you look at Vladdy and listening to pregame shows and postgame shows and all summer long, and people say, Vladdy's got to bring some of that Caribbean swagger, right? He's got to look like he's having fun, and it translates. And they were showing a clip of him, before he hit the grand slam, and he's
shimmying around.
He's just shimmying. He's in there, and he's kind of shaking it. He's doing a little bit of this, and you got to think those two things go hand in hand.
Well, I remember, or I read on Twitter here today. I've already mentioned him once earlier in the show. Nick Ashbourne, co-host of the Blue Jays Happy Hour podcast. He goes, gold medal position for best Blue Jays playoff home bat flip is not available. But if it was, this would be right there, right? Like, best moment, best a little swagger. But yeah, he was he's feeling it. And you can, the different broadcasters that cover the team all year, they'll point out, like, he's up there when the music's playing in between pitches, he's kind of bobbing his head and he's swaying. You can tell when he's feeling it and when he's not. And he is, man, he's feeling it right now. And that grand slam that broke it open again, right? It's already 5-0. And even that, in the moment, it's like, well, it's the Yankees, right? And we've seen some shit, the 8-run thing with the Mariners and whatever a couple of years ago. It felt comfortable, but not locked down. And at 9, like the grand slam, you're like, all right, we're going to be okay here. And it would still get a little hairier than necessary, but 9-0. Now you're feeling it, man. Now you're.
You know who's not hitting that he's already dead button? Kevin Gausman is in the bullpen, and he's like, pour it on.
Yes. Yep.
We do not need to see an 8-1 lead turn into, I don't know, 11-9, anything like this. We pour it on.
George Springer delivering a spear to your shortstop's back and being carted off the field, like just some calamity that.
Yes.
So yeah, like I would say, to circle back to what happened later in the game, like I said, I wasn't concerned, but I was annoyed that you're giving them some looks. They've seen more of your bullpen now. They're going home feeling a little better. Like 9 out of 10 times you put up 7 runs, you're going to be fine. But it's just one of those. Sometimes it just gets like that a little bit. It gets a little sloppy late. It shouldn't, but it did. I don't think it has much of an impact on the way I feel about the way these two games went. It's annoying, but I think when you get down to Yankee Stadium and you get back at it here, I don't think it ultimately will change things too much, especially if you can jump on Rodon early like you have with these last two guys here.
Well, and you're spot on, right? Like, to me, it's a crapshoot, right? With the way the Yankees finished the season, how hot they were, and you had no idea, right, what's going to happen with the break, and you're sort of like, who knows? And so to come out and have put up 23 runs and going to the Bronx up 2-0, and you're throwing in, like, it couldn't have worked better when you get the Gausman win, you put the young kid in next.
Yes.
And then you go, we have a former Cy Young winner who's already had playoff appearances in Yankee Stadium, and he's going to pitch for us in Game 3. You're like, come on. Could you have had this roll at this point any cleaner towards you? Don't think so.
And that's it, eh? Hindsight being what it is, you get to look back and go, yeah, great calls all around. Gausman got done the game that we talked about a few minutes ago or earlier on before the break. Like, you had to have that one before the Yankees got their pitching put together. Savage comes out at home. Everything's nice and comfortable. The crowd's going crazy for him. He's dominating. That one couldn't have played out any better. And now, Bieber is not a blow-you-away guy, but he's a steady guy. He will not be rattled by the moment, by standing at Yankee Stadium, and you're up 2-0, and you're going to force them to come beat you 3 times in a row here, and sure, it's possible, but the Jays haven't lost 3 in a row many times this year, so good shape, man. This couldn't have, like I said, I could have been talked into the Jays winning the first 2 in a row, obviously. I just never would have thought, even the blow-away scores aside, that it would look like this. You're out homering them. You are destroying Max Fried quickly. Savage, the rookie, is dominating Judge and Stanton and these guys. It just, everything about this, unrecognizable to what my prediction would have been.
Can you for 1 second think of a 22-year-old Matt, really at any age, coming out for a curtain call, 44,000 people, like, so fired up, right? What that would feel like, and when he's having the post game with Hazel, and they're pointing out his parents, and you're like, what that would be like, the emotions you would be feeling.
Well, no, first of all, but I had been on the Fox broadcast, and Ken Rosenthal went up and talked to his parents, and he was up there first. I would get back to the Sportsnet broadcast, and Hazel was up there next or whatever else. But talking to his dad, and he's like, Ken asked him, when was the last time you talked to him? Was it last night, this morning? He said, yeah, we were in his hotel room this morning, had a little chat, and they had one of the Canadian, obviously, sports channels on, and it was all about him making his start. And his dad's like, do you like watching this? Do you like watching yourself? He's like, not really. And it was one of these Canadian cringe moments where he's like, well, then put on the football pregame show. He's like, I don't know if they get football up here. Like, oh, come on. That's all we watch enough football on Sunday afternoons. You're not even trying. So that was a little cringe. But his dad's just like, we couldn't be, as a family who didn't obviously know much about Canada, like, he said, we could never have seen this coming. And the number of people he's raved about since he moved up here, and 44,000 people cheering for him, and the way this has gone, like, and he said in both the Ken Rosenthal interview, which is for American TV only, and then Hazel a few minutes later, in both of them, he said, thank you, Canada. And you're just like, that's cool, man. Like, everything about this is just such a good vibes moment. You can tell the kid's not one of these kids who's bummed to have been, oh, I'm the one going to Toronto, right? Like, he's embracing it all, and why wouldn't you right now?
Well, and in his postgame with Hazel, he's like, this city rocks.
Yes.
You guys rock. Like, he's just like, he's totally buying it.
In, man. Yeah. So, off to Yankee Stadium. It's Shane Bieber versus Carlos Rodon, and this couldn't have played out a whole lot better if you're a Blue Jays fan.
No, and we should all focus on the positives.
Yeah.
Like, I know, and it tends to be when it comes to Schneider that
you don't got a lot of love for him,
and I think he has been better this year.
And I just think the moves he made today are moves I don't know what else you would have done, and you're like, that guy's just not doing it, right? Like, the guy is not giving you what you expect right now.
And it was just a slightly premature pull for me.
And that's fair enough. When a guy's cruising, fucking leave him in. I get that. But when he is 22 and you're watching things. And
it's all those things. And as you suggest, you expect the guys coming in behind you. Maybe it's a little rocky. Maybe no one's going to be, but we've seen it on the Jays front where the starter is killing us.
Yes.
And you're just waiting. And then as soon as they pull the starter, you're like, fucking thank God.
Yeah. When our offense gets going, you mean?
Yeah. And then you start beating up the bullpen.
Yeah.
And so.
And that is what happened here.
And so you're just like, So now, you know what? Bieber may go out and be nails, and Rob doesn't know what he's talking about.
I can't imagine Bieber's going more than 6.
Right.
So we'll see. But there is an off day tomorrow. You rest up. You kind of reset everybody. But at that point, you're cognizant of a bullpen day Thursday.
Right.
Right. And so that sort of changes the math too for you. Are you tied right now and we badly want to win this tonight? Are you down by 2 or 3 and you kind of don't push it? We'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's by no means over. I've seen multiple Yankee fans on Twitter asking MLB, legitimately, I've seen this, to start an investigation into the Blue Jays. Like, are there cameras in that suite, like that hotel in center field? The Jays have to be stealing signs. I'm like, really? We're going to do the Yankee fans are accusing Jays fans of stealing signs.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's out there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And really, like, we're only using one suite for our secret camera setup. There's lots of other private ones you can book to go cry in if you need to, Yankee fans. It's
or hump, or do whatever you want to do. There are all kinds of them out there.
Or hump. That's how we're going to wrap up your Monday morning show.
There you go, man.
It's not even hump day, but
it feels like it though.
Okay. Rob's got a weird work schedule this week, so who knows when his hump day is going to be. We'll leave that alone.
It's going to be on Wednesday, my man.
Yeah, okay. House to himself. Don't forget, coming up this week, Graham Nichols, your Ottawa Senators season preview. Jeff Fayette, your Toronto Maple Leafs season preview. And probably some more baseball talk along the way as they're back at it Tuesday and Wednesday. Thanks so much for listening to this one. We'll catch you all later on.
See ya.
I've got nothing here. You're giving me baseball and hockey, and I got my keister blowing in the wind. That made to look like a fool here. That's just dumb. I don't want anything to do with this place. This place is run by a bunch of children.